the studio is at the moment with tons of people. But I did mention earlier on that would have community leaders from the Plateau, Benue, would have from also Southern Kaduna, from Delta, from Edo, all represented here, who have been affected one way or the other by conflict, by killings, and they came here to the federal capital, held a press conference, interfaced with some government officials also. Kotsi is Stephanis Foundation who coordinated it and brought all of them together. I'm excited to announce that I have the founder of Stephanis Foundation with us in the studio. You're welcome, sir. Mr. Mark Lipdo. Yeah, Mr. Mark Lipdo. You are welcome. I see that your entourage is large today.
Thank you very much, Kimberly.
The last time you were in the studio with us, it was over the Katsina girl.
That's right, Habiba.
Habiba. What's the quick update before we get into this matter now?
At the moment, Habiba still stays married to Ibrahim, and we cannot do anything about it.
And time has passed. He's getting older by the day, so the grounds to even argue it is lost.
And that's the situation with vulnerable people. If you don't have anyone to talk and fight for you, nothing goes for you in this country.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Well, we've got a full house, and I would allow as many of them as possible introduce themselves and where they are. Gentlemen, so that I don't mix up all your names, so we'll just start off. From Irigwe. Those from Irigwe.
Good evening, listeners. My name is Chinge Dodo Justice. I am the President of Irigwe Youth Movement from Plateau State, Basa local government to be precise.
All right.
All right, good evening. My name is Irigwe. I also go by the name Malachi. I am the Public Relations Officer of Irigwe Development Association. So nice to see you again, Kimberly.
So nice. Irigwe is my friend and colleague from our Rape Hour days, yeah?
Certainly.
Good to see you again.
You actually auditioned me to Rape Hour, so I owe my success in broadcasting today partly to you.
It's a pleasure. Nice seeing you again.
Thank you.
Nice seeing you again. All right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, men of the press. I'm Malam Yusuf from Plateau State, representing Barikin Ladi.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, listeners, and good evening, Kimberly. My name is Adeleke Damian Mary. I am from Edo State. I represent the people of Edo North.
Okay. All right. I hope they give you their blessings to represent them. Okay.
Definitely they did.
So that they also now Edo man is not speaking for us.
Actually, I even spoke with them this morning and even yesterday night before I even came here.
All right. Okay, then you're welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Enoch Ando, the National President for Takat Community in Southern Kaduna Southern Kaduna. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. All right.
Good evening, dear listeners. I am Jeffrey Shadogo, a representative from Benue State.
Okay.
Bless you.
Welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Amos Efficiency is my name from Taraba, Sadana local government to be precise.
You are welcome.
Good evening. I am Reverend Adams Inley from Taraba State, representing Mambila Plateau.
Okay, welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Shuksa Zaka is my name, from Ndokwa East local government area of Delta State.
Okay, you're welcome. So you can see from all over the place, North Central and the southern part of the country, and also the northeastern part of the country, all here and have one cause to be here. We'll start with you, sir. The reason why you came. I know there's been conflicts in all of this region where you're all from. The media has been awash with reports of news, killings and all of that. The government itself had at one point forced to pay attention to what is going on. Security deployed to this region, but unfortunately, it seemed like the more you see, the less you understand with this issues going on from Kaduna to Plateau to Benue to Taraba to Delta. We've had some reports of people being murdered and conflict between herders and farmers to a point where a lot of you have to come out and say, no, it's enough. We've lost one too many people. The recent one is the Plateau unfortunate Irigwe situation. I know that one of the eyewitnesses and survivors is here also to share the report with us. Let's just get a quick summary from you.
Yes, exactly. Kimberly, we're here. Sometimes people look at this as a conflict. It's not really a conflict. a situation where people are sleeping in their homes, and then attackers come with sophisticated weapons, chase them out of their homes. If they can slaughter, they slaughter as many as they can, and then others who escape, they come back to their homes already burnt, and they continue to stay in camps up till now. As you are aware, we're keeping a camp. Stephanos Foundation is running an IDP camp full of people from Northeast. So we are concerned as an organization that killings have been going on in the Northeast, and killings are going on, in fact, long before the Northeast Boko Haram issue. It's been going on in central Nigeria, and no one seems to have said anything about it. Now it is going down the south. You can hear there are Edo people here, there are people from the Delta and other places. So things are going wild, and we are wondering what's happening. Others try to put meanings to it, to say herders, farmers. It's not that way. The current one now is the Irigwe people. They will let you know that they never had any conflict with
the herders who they shared community with
for a very long time. So people were attacked in their homes in the night when they were sleeping. Others were asked to enter the classroom and they were killed. So what's that? We don't know.
I recall the statement from the military saying that they were a bit overwhelmed. There were all kinds of angles to the story. This gentleman is one of those witnesses. So
he speaks in Hausa, so we need to pidgin. So pidgin, okay.
We can do pidgin.
Yeah, do pidgin.
Yeah, go ahead. Share with us. So he's an eyewitness.
Good evening.
Yeah.
My name is Friday Shahu.
Okay, Friday, you're welcome.
Right.
Okay, from what community? Yeah. Okay, all right. So you're an eyewitness to what happened. You lost some people. Sorry about that.
Yes, sir.
Maybe you share with us an eyewitness account of what really happened. What do you think is responsible for the conflict in your area? Can someone help me? What's conflict in Pidgin?
What happened in our village is that on Sunday, in the evening, a Fulani man came out.
How does he know that you're Fulani?
Because when they come to the community, there is a normal way they call people.
Okay, well that's...
Sure.
That Fulani are around, but they didn't say anything to me. At that time, my mother's, he had told me before that he has a mother and a stepmother, those who are there. They started running and the soldiers asked them to enter the classroom. The reason why I knew this must be Fulani, normally when they come that way, they start chanting Gamada, Gamada, Gamada.
What does it mean?
Okay, that is, yeah. So you can come.
Yeah, summary is the community was attacked by people who you think are from that. And you've been having this conflict with them before now in your community, have you? Or is it the first time that you're having this situation happen in your area?
But to attacking
so it's the very first time. So you didn't have a reason to run on citing them, saying that you didn't have any issue with them. So why did they run then?
Because we ran because it was, they
Okay.
never noticed those kind of
Oh, well, he first said that he recognized them from what they say, and now, stories of that nature. Usually it's important to point it out because, sometimes there's already a profiling, and you see people, you just assume, you start to have the fear that something is going to happen. See that they've never had a conflict before. Thank you for sharing your story. It's quite an unfortunate one. What happened to your community, really? They cover themselves. Oh. All right then. So they were covered.
Yes,
you can't tell.
actually they were covered and they were holding guns. So once they see people dressed like that with guns, they had to run for their life.
This. I put my phone on flight myself. It will not play.
Those customs.
The radio will not.
You will play now, you play. Eh?
It will not.
You think so? It doesn't use
What the fuck? I'm trying to.
Play airplane mode.
Killings have been.
Okay.
Flight mode will not do.
In your villages, in your community, and enough is enough. The government needs to do something about it.
Exactly. That's why we're here, Kimberly. And we're impressed. Actually, we're encouraged when we hear Mr. President say the madness has gone too far. We are hopeful that something is going to happen. And immediately we began to see jets flying around. What we are concerned about is that no one, for 1 week now, no one has been arrested. The military has not given updates of what is happening in the area, and the houses still stay burnt. People are still without homes. No one has sent any humanitarian supply to anybody. So we are left wondering, what is all this? Yeah.
It's a valid wonder, and I want to feel the pulse of everyone here, because your message is going to the government. It doesn't matter who is attacking who. Yes, we have the message in the media and the profile. I'm trying to be careful here, because you know how it is when you mention an ethnic group, so that people don't get profiled and all of that. But we understand that there's a threat in all of your communities, and you have lost relatives and loved ones. And now you are holding the government, whose primary responsibility is to ensure safety of life and property, responsible.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we need to come from your communities, what you're saying to the government now concerning your safety and your security.
Thank you so much, Shambali. You see, basically, there is a social contract between us and the state. And the first and primary responsibility of the state is the protection of lives and properties. As a community, that is the Irigwe community of Basa local government in Plateau State, we have come to tell Abuja, the seat of government, that we indeed are feeling rejected. We are laid in a deep pain, agony, and we feel so completely rejected by a government we overwhelmingly voted and supported, and we've been supporting. That these things have been happening for the past 5 weeks, and no single attacker has been arrested. And in the media, they are painted as headers. Who is the header? Has the soldiers arrested them and they have confessed to be headers? So we are wondering, and it's just a mere painting to just wave it, and then in the circle of conflict management, they say headers, and that's all, people clap hands. So we are here with a loud voice. Over 14,000 people from Irigwe land has been displaced. We are now facing a lot of humanitarian crisis. When you go to Jos, because our village is not far from the city of Jos, the Plateau State capital, when you go to Jos, you see quite a number of young women and children who have been led. And we still have a big question to ask the military. Are they really for us? What is happening? How can soldiers that we are paying hard to make sure that they work now turn to be the ones who seems to be supervising our killing? Because even in that attack, this guy that just testified lost his mother and his stepmother. And one of the women that died, my dear, one of the women was a woman who was cooking for the soldiers in that village. So, Mr. President, sir, we are in Abuja to tell you that people are being killed. Those who voted you are being killed. You have asked that you will provide us security, but this thing is not working, sir. And our people are in tears. We are feeling as if we are no longer Nigerians. We are crying. I come with a voice of pain, voice of agony. Irigwe people are in dear need of help. From the federal to the state to local apparatus, we really need government to come around and really salvage the situation. What is happening is very, very pathetic. Houses have been burned down. Even as I came to Abuja yesterday, I got a call that the remnant of the building that are standing, that these attackers came back. Make sure they pull it down. So we are beginning to suspect something. Though this is a media house, but with what has been happening, we are thinking this is an expansionist movement by a group of people to take over a land. But then only those attackers will tell why they are doing this to us and who is supervising them, who is behind this. If government fails to do this, then I am afraid there is no any other responsibility of government. That we are not after bridges, we are not after roads, we are not after aeroplanes, we are not after helicopters. We want our lives and properties protected, secured, and guaranteed. Irigwe people are indeed crying. Abuja people, we know you are civilized, you know about human rights. Please stand up and fight for us, because today it can be Irigwe people. No one knows what it will turn to be tomorrow. So don't just sit at the seat of government or the capital of Abuja and then you begin to think you are safe. Tomorrow it might be Abuja itself. Thank you.
All right, that's from Irigwe. Yeah. I bet you have the same appeal.
Well, this is,
I'm from Edo State. I don't know precisely, and similar stories, though houses were not raised down. But we have stories where women were in the farm and this set of people attacked them, even raped them. A case in point is a man who was in the farm with his wife, and the wife was gang raped by these men and then beat the man to stupor. In the other community, the same thing. There was even at a point where they had all these issues, and then we arrested one. And when this guy was arrested by the vigilante, and then he was taken to the police. But we recognized his identity, because we know, at least in Nigeria, if you see somebody with all these marks, you know, and then with the way we talk and the way we dress. And we took this guy to the police. Lo and behold, before I knew what was happening, they put a bullet on his head. And I was so surprised. Why would you do that? Why won't you let us get to the root of this matter? The other case in point was a situation whereby the same set.
Did you document this and try to report to, say, the military, the police, anyway? Because you can't let it just slide.
Yes, because
extrajudicial murder.
Because the community youths, they wrote about it, and then it was still the same.
It was published somewhere.
It was published in the news, and all that. Then even a case in point, there was a time again we arrested one. It was kidnapping. They kidnapped a young man, and he was arrested, taken to the police station. We got there the following day as youths to the police station to see, okay, what is happening. This is the case we brought. Lo and behold, we couldn't find that young man again, up till as we speak, and nobody is telling us what is happening and where it is. So our lands, and even a young boy of a youth who was murdered in his own grandmother's farm, just because he told them, please, these cattle are destroying our farmland. And they went into argument with the boy, and they stabbed the boy to death around March. So these are the things we are seeing, and when all these things keep happening, we keep wondering what is happening, and no single soul is being arrested, and nobody is making any comment to say, okay, thank God the president said this madness has gone too far. But what is the action? It is not just in words, but we want something to be done.
The president did say the madness has gone too far and it needs to stop, and I think
exactly
that is what you want to happen.
Yes, you know that some of them can say they don't know who are attacking them. But we have a situation of someone from Plateau in Ladi local government that today he's staying out, he's not in his house, but some people are occupying. I think you need to speak for yourself. Yes.
Well, I've already introduced myself, and Plateau State we know as named Home of Peace and Tourism. Initially, there was no problem in Plateau State. We are very hospitable. We like people, want to interact with even visitors, people we don't know. But just within the shortest time after the Just crisis, constantly, people have been maimed, brutally attacked at different times, different places. Some communities have been displaced for quite some years. In fact, it's getting to 3 years as of now, or more. Communities like Tagabos in Sho village, they are not there. Rarin in Sho village, they are not there. And other places in John community, and if possible in Rim community, they are no more there. The question now is, when they want to get back to their original ancestral home, they are not allowed. So the question, we want them to go back.
Who's not allowing them? Soldiers?
No,
they have been occupied.
Terrorism.
Okay.
They don't allow them to go back because some try to raise structures. They come demolish them.
In fact, even yesterday around this time, 6 p.m., a village head was killed around that area and one other woman. And somebody is still missing today. So people are in the hospital as of 6 p.m. yesterday.
And I'm sympathizing with the family of Dalambago in Wiri, a community in Bibarik in Ladi local government. Just 3 days after the Irigwe attack, he was in his shop around 7:30. Just some people just came in, gunned him down. 3 people were killed that particular moment. 2 were taken to the hospital, and I believe some are still seriously sick in the hospital. So our prayer, let the government know that it is good for us to come back to our old days of peaceful coexistence. We are not rejecting anybody. We continue to ask questions. Why is it so? And in fact, we don't know the answer. It is the government now that will give us the answer.
The answer. Okay, we'll take a quick break. More like from all over, Benue, Kaduna, Plateau, communities, Redo, Delta, all represented in Taraba also here, all here to share with us what their security challenge is, the killings that's been going on in their community, and appealing that the government do something about it. Gentleman from Benue State, Benue was taking the heat at one point also. It's the food basket of the nation. How is it affecting things over there?
Yeah, like all of us know, Benue State is the middle belt, the belt that holds the east and the north. And our mainstay is farming, and since 2011, the attackers have done so much that there's trauma and there's a drop in produce, in farm produce. And we are afraid that if the government didn't come in time to intervene, very soon the whole nation will run short of food. And we're looking for food somewhere else. So we're begging the president, let him.
How about the governors in all of these states? They are the executive governor, the security chiefs in your state. You said
yes.
Have you been interfacing with them?
Yes, we interface with them. They are trying their best. But you know that the state, to a point, it has its own limit. And if you want the military to evolve in a high capacity, the nation have to give the...
You think they're doing enough to represent you, even to the federal level?
They're trying their best.
Okay. Trying, by Nigerian standard, sounds good enough.
Yeah.
And you know, Kimberly, some states have done things like the grazing bills and all that, and that happened in Benue State. And unfortunately, we saw on the media, the news, and newspapers that the Fulani group are asking every cattle rearer to move to Benue. We don't know how that is going to play out. Yesterday,
we can't take that serious until we get it.
Until it gets there, yes, exactly. So we don't know how that is going to play out. But we are saying that people need to be allowed to stay in peace in their communities and continue their activities. So that, like we're saying, we're soon going to run short of food in this country, and 200 million people. How are we going to handle that?
Looking also at the community, it takes 2 to tango.
Exactly.
Your space is invaded by attackers.
Yeah.
And we've had reports of reprisal attacks also. What are you doing about that also? Because at one point you needed to stop. Is it unprovoked? Because the report has also been in the media space about reprisal attacks coming from some of these communities also, looking for people to vent frustration on.
We don't want to take laws into our hands. Since we have a government that its own main duty to protect lives and properties. So we are crying on to the government. We don't want to take laws in their hands.
Oh, that's a good thing. Don't do that. But we've had reports of, attacks after attacks. People attack again, even though there have been interventions by the state government and other committees set up. But it still continues.
Well, if I may comment, please. You see, the most unfortunate thing is that if a crime takes place and nobody is apprehended and you suffer, the tendency for you to feel that yes, indeed, it has become a lot to attack is there. In my own case, that is the Irigwe community, where I've never had any cause to take any reprisal. We have had cases where locals from our place come out to defend themselves because there was a curfew imposed. And unfortunately, the attackers used the opportunity provided by the curfew to launch an attack on our people in a classroom that was under the supervision of the Nigerian army. And then what happened was that we saw cases where our local boys that came out with sticks, cutlasses, got arrested, 8 of them, and it was announced on the media. But these attackers, no single one has been announced, no single one found.
Not one arrested.
No single one. The issue of, you raised an issue of that the military said in one of their press releases, where was a soldier shot? Let them come out and tell us where one single soldier was shot. What attempt did they make? We are there actually exchange of fire between them and these attackers.
According to this,
yes, you may fool some people sometimes, but you cannot fool all the people all the time. Common sense will tell when you say you are overwhelmed, what is the effort you put in to show that yes, indeed, you tried and your trial was not good enough. So let's come out and tell ourselves the truth. Unless the truth is told, this thing will go on unabated. And like I said before, if it is one community today, don't you dare stay there and deceive yourself that this thing cannot happen. Communities that are now facing it, who have thought that these things will go down to Edo State, for goodness sake? We were thinking this is strictly a northern affair. Today it has gone to Edo State. Tomorrow it might be Lagos or elsewhere. The other time we saw, and so we are trying to bring out some suggestions. And we are saying that government has to come out with a policy, genuine policy. Let stakeholders call upon to dialogue, to discuss. This is what is done in advanced countries. We've not heard of countries where cattle move about in the street. Stick to renting and other things.
All right. So we're hearing all of this. Cause of this problem apparently is the conflict. Your farm space is invaded, and it's been an age-long problem. Even though it's boiling into something major, more lives are being lost on a massive scale that is easily for a lot of people. Now, intervention. What do you deliberate effort, well articulated by the government, do you want the government to do concerning all of this? Because we agree that it has gone on for too long.
Thank you very much. The first thing, in sane societies, don't allow livestock. I'm from Delta State. You don't allow livestock to roam about. So the first thing that needs to be done is for these cattle, the cows, to be kept in ranches, or the owners. For instance, I keep birds. I'm a poultry farmer. I don't allow my birds to roam about. I have a space for them. These cattle are not owned by the state governments or the local governments or the federal government. They are owned by individuals. So those individuals should make provisions for their cattle. You can't allow like if you watch very well, most of these communities that are attacked are mainly agrarian communities. Their major means of livelihood is farming. Now you bring your cattle, they graze, you attack the owners of the farms, and all of that. How do you expect them to survive? So we are appealing to government to do something very speedily about curtailing the movement of
open grazing.
Open grazing should be stopped completely.
Actually, Kimberly, I would also think that we're talking about attackers. If the government are serious about surveillance, they would get into the areas that are targeted and fish out people who carry out these attacks. If they have fished out the perpetrators and we find out what is their problem, then we will address it. But at the moment, we have not arrested anybody. Nobody has been arrested. We are just making the stories. People are just saying that it is cattle headers and all that. No. We know that they normally will graze and kill people. But I mean, let's arrest those who come and kill people.
And know for sure who they are.
And why should they do that? If they are Nigerians, and they have been agreed. They know how to channel their grievances. Why should they take the law into their hands? We heard somebody from Benue saying that we don't want to take the law into our hands. These are law-abiding Nigerians that are living, they are giving themselves to governance, but yet they are not being protected. And criminals roam the streets and do what they want. Enough is enough.
Okay.
Okay, now simply it will interest you to know that these things have continued unabated despite the heavy presence of security personnel, especially in Irigwe land. Now it has become like this because the strategies employed by the security deployed to that area seem not to be working. For instance, our people have identified where they think these attackers emanate from to perpetrate the nuisance. Information have been shared, intelligence information, very credible ones to these military personnel, but they jettisoned them. All right, they would rather stage roadblocks, at checkpoints on the main road, where they constantly, check vehicles and other things. When people, avail them of information that are very, key to apprehending the attackers, this information are jettisoned. So the people have felt that there is no genuine commitment, towards arresting this situation. We have expected that if people, give you information as to the whereabouts of people that have been causing these problems, you move in. They come from the mountains. Our people have named places that they know or they feel these people.
Come out from
yes, they hide there in the daytime and then come out in the night. Why, the security personnel have not ventured into, sweeping these areas is still something that we are yet to fathom.
Interesting. At least you're helping them, punching them with information about some of these things, and it's still there. So, you want open grazing to stop. You want security to intensify, do their job, do it well. You want people arrested, those who have committed the crimes, and punished.
Another thing is, people's homes have been burnt and people are in camps. They don't have any means of livelihood anymore. And we don't see, humanitarian services from the government, heightened or brought to their service. So we're wondering, why can't NEMA, which is Emergency Response Unit, why can't they respond immediately to some of these things? As we're talking here, people can tell you, how many times have you seen NEMA there? We have not seen them. So why can't we be swift? If we delay or don't take care of those people, then we are telling the perpetrators that you are doing a good job. And I don't think that's what Nigeria wants to tell its own people. And that's one thing. If NEMA are existing, they should be up and doing that. That's it.
Okay, interesting. One more voice before we open the phone line. We'll take a few thoughts from people who have been listening to our conversation so far. You're from Irigwe?
No, I'm from Kaduna South.
Oh, Kaduna South.
Kaduna South. Like I've introduced myself, and Ogando, the Takat Community Development Association President. I really want to say at the time you asked the question of seeing what has been done by the government and what has been done maybe by NEMA.
Yeah.
Of course, like in our community, there has been nothing like that. Nothing. The NEMA only came maybe 2013 when we were firstly attacked during around May, and after which nothing is said about them again. You also wanted to know whether what steps do we need the government to do. Well, in Kaduna State, we want to appreciate the governor, whom of course sometimes thought it twice to have a government peace declaration, which was done. But the unfortunate thing, the very day the government peace declaration was launched, the next day there was an attack in Samaru, which of course dealt away with so many lives. Samaru is in Zango local government, Samaru Katav, and that which of course you also wanted to know whether there is any reprisal. In southern Kaduna, there has never been anybody that have gone to attack these attackers. Actually, there has been none, because when you see the sophisticated guns, even though we used to say sometimes they will say, how do you know? From the sounding of the guns, you'll be able to detect that, yeah, this is really sophisticated weapons of at least AK-47. Some people that are injured with these guns, you look at the bullets and you really know they are AK-47 bullets used by the attackers. So there has been never anything to do with reprisal in southern Kaduna. And I want to say, just like somebody said, we want to thank the federal government who expanded the operation Safe Haven from Plateau State to part of about 4 local governments in southern Kaduna. That is Kaura, Jama, Jaba, Kaura, Jama, Zango, and Sanga local government, which have really been affected by this. And in the Takat community especially, this is a part of community that are sharing. Some of them are in Plateau State, some of them are in Kaduna State. Those that are in Plateau State completely have been ignored. They have been ignored by the government in Plateau State, which of course we have been trying to even meet with the governor to discuss things with him, maybe using the southern Kaduna people in Plateau State there, and to enable these people go back to resettle. But the military that are sent, the Operation Safe Haven that are sent, are merely on the main road, while the actual affectors, the people being affected in the hamlets or in the villages, have been ignored. No security. No security, and these people are living in the hills. We are, of course, is interesting the attackers to go there and hide and come out to attack the southern Kaduna people at any time. So we are calling to the government. The peace declaration which we are talking about, we want it to be revisited. And of course, this time around, invite stakeholders, community leaders, and the Fulani, the Mieti, and Jamaitu, Israel, leaders, to enable us come to
an agreement
to see that this menace is stopped. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We would have to take a few thoughts, but okay.
Yes, from Taraba State, Amos Efficiency is my name.
Taraba is an interesting state.
Yes, and our local government, Mambila. We appreciate Mr. President for approving the construction of the dam, which is going to be a source of income to Nigeria. So whatever will bring peace on the Sardauna land must come to stay. Mr. President knows that the people in Sardauna mostly farmers, and we have the Fulani people who are grazers on that very particular land. So for farmers not to have a place to work is a problem. I want him to know that many people on the Sardauna land have left for neighboring local government commonly to have a place to work and produce food to eat. So the anti-grazing bill will bring peace and lasting peace on that very particular land, so that the Fulani people, the Mandela people, the Kaka people, and other tribes in that very particular land can live peacefully. So fighting on that local government is going to endanger a lot of progress that the president has a very good intention of. So we want to thank our governor, the Taraba State governor, and some of our stakeholders, the chairman of our local government, who are really putting their heads together to bring about lasting peace on that local government.
All right. Thank you very much. You said it so gently, truly peace-loving process. Well, let's just see if we can take in two or three phone calls just to get a few of the bit of opinion, hoping that it will be suggestion-based. If you are calling, please tell us the solution to ending all of this. Message to the government. There's no point speaking at the random things being said already, but let's see how we can solve this problem, end it. The call is for open grazing to end. What's your take on that? 094600-951, 0809-5974-869, 123-0293 or 080-008 Nigeria info. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, my name is Miango.
Thank God you got a minute.
I sympathize with the request over there. But I really have to ask them that they should go to God. That God is the only person who will come and clean their place. Because I don't see in a country where we are that the government common assignment should be to protect life and property. This man said that they are not asking government to come and build road for them or and give them life. They only ask the government to protect their life and their property. So the question I'm asking, where are the operation cultural and operation crocodile strike? This government has been in this system. Life has been damaged. Few people here and there. I can tell you that the life of an ordinary animal is more valued in Nigeria than the life of a human being. If you go to airport, person cannot even allow you to pass. It's very unfortunate. The God will be with them. Thank you very much.
Wow. You have left. Government needs to do something. We need to do something.
Hello?
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Mohammed here.
Mohammed, you're welcome.
Yes, close to your guest, spoken quite well. But one angle I would suggest looking at, apart from the ranching that for the herders, this persistent type of farming we keep on doing that has no value, it degrades the land, somebody owner dies, it gets cut into pieces for children, at the end of the day, it just doesn't help us. So in regards to looking at the ranching, the farming itself has to be looked at. Continuing the subsistence will just not work for us. So I guess looking at both of them, and believe me, if you do, you have an organized farm, a big plantation, no cattle rearers will go into somewhere like that. I mean, but when you have subsistence farming...
Falaye's home was invaded and OBJ's farm, they were all being
but Falaye was not where cattle rearers going through. These were just troublemakers, kidnappers, and people who wanted ransom more.
Exactly, Mohammed. This is what we're talking about. There are criminals that are coming to attack people in their homes. It's not in farms. It's in homes. People are killed. When people run into classrooms, they follow them and massacre them. This is what we're talking about.
I understand.
It's the criminals we want to apprehend first.
Yes.
Then we will look at our problem.
But the cattle rearers are always being blamed.
No, nobody is saying cattle rearers are here. What we are saying, all these victims that are here, we are saying that people are attacking them in their homes. And they have had enough. Mr. President also said the madness has gone too far. Let's catch the person doing this. We want to arrest those who think that they have a right to kill Nigerians. That's all we're talking about.
All right, let's hear from you. You're welcome.
This is Sadiq from Dapi.
Go ahead, Sadiq.
Quickly, I want to say this, and if there is opportunity for me to bring him to the studio there, I will bring him to the studio there. My friend from Okene, that is the father is living in Okene, but he has farmland in Oku in Ekaba, that in Yoruba and Ekaba there. Before he came down to Okene, he just decided to check his farmland, after it in his Katana farmland. And he met this Fulani man. Uprooting his cassava, he pinning it down for his cattle to feed on. He said he confronted him and he asked him, what is this you are doing? He said when this man turned back and told him that he should go, he said the look of it on his face scared him, he just turned. This my friend died, his left hand was cut off completely. I visited him in a hospital in Lokoja. What I'm saying now is something everybody can investigate and get the fact. The head was butchered,
Okay. Let's not get graphical with all of this. We know conflict happened, somebody was killed, and you want it addressed. You're just trying to buttress the fact that these things are real. It says radio, so we can't take all of that. And in general, gentlemen, we've heard from a few people. There are tons of messages, all re-echoing what you have said, calling for a solution to this, calling for open grazing to end, calling for perpetrators of this crime to be arrested, calling for some sort of conflict resolution. I think everyone is saying the same thing. How soon do you want to see this happen? Some states said they were not giving reserve land. That's a controversial issue on its own when the government did suggest about grazing areas in different states.
Kimberly, let's not divert from the situation. What we're talking about is criminality on the land, right? People are attacked. Let's arrest one person and let him tell us what is happening.
Fair enough.
Yes, if he has any grievance, then we will sit down with him and settle that. We've not had anybody saying that because the showman has built a house on his cattle rearing ranch that he felt he should go and attack. Even if that happens, then the police should ask him, what right do you have to think that you can take the law into your hand to attack somebody? What we know in this country is that you report grievances, the person will be apprehended, will be arrested, and then they will charge him to court to defend himself. We have not had any grievance on that issue. People's villages are violated, right? People are killed. That is the first thing that we need to press on, I think. Yes.
All right.
Yeah, she asked about the ranching thing also. As far as the Irigwe man from Basa local government and most of our Fulani brothers are concerned, if it is as soon as tomorrow morning, we want it because it's a problem. Human lives are so sacrosanct.
It should have been yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
And actually, when we talk about animal rearing and all that, we shouldn't forget that some of us are also cattle rearers. You know, we're not just subsistence crop farmers. I have goats and sheep at the back of my house because I was afraid that people would just lynch them and take them away. So I have had to carve a place at the back of my house to put that. It's my responsibility, right? So if people are going into such businesses, they should know that they are not alone. We're not saying cattle ranching is the Fulani ranching. No, it isn't. It's about the business of Nigerians. And whoever feels he can do such things, he should go into it and buy his way into it. That is what we're thinking.
All right. So in conclusion, gentlemen, one quick word as we wrap up the show.
Okay, we in Plateau State, Irigwe land in particular, want the government to review the curfew imposed on our land. It has not really served the purpose. It has caged our people and made them vulnerable to attacks. The Plateau State government needs to take it's a dusk to dawn curfew. And the soldiers have been so religious in enforcing this while the assailants come in and do whatever they have to do. So let's ask ourselves, is this really working? Let them re-strategize. This one has not worked. And indeed, we don't ask for proactive steps alone to be taken. We want practical steps that we can see. That's outside the usual condemnation that has become a cliche. We want practical steps because we have buried too many and we don't want to bury any other. We have over 14,000 people now taking refuge at IDP camps and places only God knows. So we want the president to do something. Somebody said we should pray to God. We didn't vote God in 2015. We voted somebody who promised us change, and he promised security. We want to see this security because we are dying on our very own soil, and it is one killing too many.
All right. I think that just puts it all in perspective. You want to
Okay, we in Southern Kaduna would really want the government to recognize SOCABO, which is a body that have embedded all the communities, and maybe have dialogue with them as they have good plans to bring to an end of these attacks and menace that is going on. We also want the government, of course, to really shift the military to that Kaura local government and the part of the Southern Kaduna, especially to ensure security.
Okay, I know that someone still has one final thought, but let's run for commercial. That will give you time to just do your final goodbye.
My name is John, and my life isn't always easy. I have big things to chase. It's already a lot of work, and I definitely don't need the annoying things that get in the way. I'm talking about forms to fill even when there's a banking app. You know, endless queues that ruin perfectly good days. Things I thought I couldn't get around till I joined Alert. You see, Alert makes sure I can use my bank anywhere I can get online. So when I have money to send, bills to pay, or cash to save, I'll be just fine. My life isn't always easy still, but there's a difference from the way it used to make me feel. You can feel better, like me, grow wider, when you sign up for Alert.
Search for Alert on your app store and download it now, or go to www.alert.ng.
You want a degree that gives you an advantage in a highly competitive 21st century job market? Join Nile University of Nigeria, Abuja today. At Nile University, we combine a highly trained staff body and world-class infrastructure to provide you the best quality education you need. Admission is on for our BSc, PGD, MSc, and MBA programs, as well as our new PhD program starting soon. To apply, visit www.nileuniversity.edu.ng. For inquiries, call 090-3000-1211 or 0903-632-6881. Join us today at Nile University.
What you doing?
As you can hear, I am bathing.
What you doing?
I came to see Opium. That's my tenor.
What you doing?
That's why you are marking me anyhow everywhere. Are you a defender?
Enjoy too much calls and data every time you recharge with Airtel Smart Recharge. Simply recharge with *220* pin hash to get 10 times your recharge value. Available to new and existing subscribers.
What you doing?
Are you a monitoring spirit? Wait, Joseph, what are you doing?
My name is Kashokwe. I love to cook, but couldn't find Nigerian spice mixes anywhere. I wanted to change that. I started by getting a computer. I designed special packaging, built a website, and with it, a spice business. Today, I'm helping keep the flavors of my country alive.
Intel Inside, more powerful you outside. To buy or learn about Intel-based 2-in-1 computers, visit Spar, Slot, or Westgate.
100 years. Don't be joking.
Invest in 100 years of heritage. Shareholders can now buy additional shares in the Union Bank 49.7 billion naira rights issue. Union Bank is offering 12.1 billion ordinary shares of 50 kobo at 4 naira 10 kobo per share on the basis of 5 for 7 shares held as of August 21, 2017. Application opens on September 20 and closes on October 30, 2017. For more information, visit the bank's website or branches nationwide. And now, Hard Back with Kimberly and Fortune.
So, to wind down with our guest in the studio, and sir, okay, you wanted to.
Yes, we in Benue, as we all know, we are the full basket of nation. We need peace to farm and feed the nation.
All right, give them peace.
Okay, for us in Edo, we actually believe that the system needs to be strengthened, the institutions need to be strengthened, so that we, as the common man, as I would say, because we reside in the remote areas, we don't lose faith in government. Because when we lose faith in government, you discover that the youth and the people will have no other option than to say, okay, let us try and see how to defend ourselves. We don't want to do that.
The country is thinking of sources of income outside oil, and the major area to look at is agriculture. I know many places are falling into agriculture. So if anything hinders farming, the effect will be catastrophic. So that is why we still appeal to government to not just verbalize their commitment. They have to go beyond making pronouncements to ensure that these appeals we have been making are treated as something concrete that will pacify everybody and know that yes, we have a government up there interested in how we fare. You know, so that's just what we need.
All right.
And from Plateau State, we say that good governance is not built on hypocrisy, falsehood, and deceit. Government must wake up and do her first primary responsibility, which is the protection of lives and property. And security is not just about the presence of soldiers. Yes, it is a guarantee that the system is safe. As for me, the more I see soldiers, the more I know the place is insecure. So let us go for real, genuine security.
I am Adams from Taraba State in Mambila Plateau. I wish to plead with the Nigerian government to come in to see that we have a peaceful solution to this the problem between the grazers and the farmers, because at the moment, if we will experience peace in our locality, in our community, then there will be development and many other things what we are requesting for.
All right, sir.
Let me say, if a child is crying, a responsible father is supposed to ask the child what is happening and then solve the problem of that child. We are crying and we want our tears to be, at least they should clean our tears. Let me just correct an issue. I said the family of Dalambagwam, but the person that was killed is Da Moses Dungwam. He was one time head of service in the Plateau State government. He was massacred on the 13th of October 2017. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Thank you very much.
And Kimberly, as an organization, human rights organization, we at Stephanos Foundation are saying that we don't have any option to sanctity of life. Sanctity of life first, then our properties. So we are calling on government to take practical and measurable steps. The first we think is put an end to grazing, open grazing situation that goes on in our land. That is what we think will solve this problem, number one. Number two, if the military are there providing security, they should ask themselves, is it working? If the strategy is not working, can you change it? This situation where military stand on the road and greet people, they are more than that. Their work is more honorable than that. Do it and be gallant about it. That's what we're expecting. Let soldiers provide solution. Let us be proud of them again as in the days of Ecomog. This is what we're saying. And then thirdly, let's take care of Nigerians. A situation whereby people are hungry, their homes are burnt and nobody is there to take care of them should end. The first people to see our government come ready to supply people need. When villages are attacked in the morning, children are concerned about food, breakfast. And we see children roaming the street, no one is taking care of them. Up till 1 year, if you don't see people taking care of you, then there is no effective government in place. So we are saying that this needs to end. The other thing is that you see people roaming the bushes with sophisticated weapons. Please, let's disarm our bushes. Those who go with AK-47 openly and we claim that they will give us peace is falsehood. We are lying to ourselves. So the military knows everything about disarmament. Let them disarm people that they see them with arms. No option, no exception. That is what we're saying. And thank you very much for this time. We keep looking forward to supporting and defending the vulnerable people together with you on this line.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for taking out time to come. I know a lot of you had to stand. Not enough chairs for you, but thank you very much. And I hope and pray that peace returns, that the government swings into action with something a bit more concrete beyond the rhetorics, and we get all of this nightmare ending where people can sleep on their beds and really sleep knowing that they are safe. I believe that we'll get there. We just need to keep talking, and I'm pressing on the right authority to do the needful. Okay, thank you very much. And I do agree that Plateau people are peace-loving people.
Yes, we look forward to a time when you would come visit Joe's and go to those
I am